Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we're going over the Croatia Iceberg. Let's dive in. The Boška Tablet. The Boška Tablet is a stone inscription from around 1100 AD found on the island of Krk in present-day Croatia. It is written in Glagolitic script and is one of the oldest known texts in the Croatian language. The tablet records a land donation made by King Zvonimir to a Benedictine monastery. Judith. Judith of Croatia, also known as Judith of Dalmatia, was a 10th century Croatian noblewoman and the wife of King Stephen Držislav of Croatia. She became Queen of Croatia, one of the earliest known queens in Croatian history. After Stephen's death, her sons ruled, and Judith is mentioned in sources as having significant political influence during the transition of power. Marko Marulić. Marko Marulić was a Croatian Renaissance writer and is often called the father of Croatian literature. His most famous work, Judita, was written in the Croatian vernacular and helped shape the national literary language. Marulić also wrote influential moral and religious works in Latin that were widely read across Europe. The Croatian War of Independence. The Croatian War of Independence was fought between Croatia and forces of the Serb-controlled Yugoslav People's Army, along with local Serb militias. After Croatia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991, ethnic tensions escalated into a brutal conflict marked by sieges, ethnic cleansing, and widespread destruction. The war ended with Croatian forces regaining control over most of the territory, supported by international recognition and peace agreements. The Croatian Democratic Union. The Croatian Democratic Union is a major political party in Croatia, founded in 1989 by Franjo Tuđman. It played a leading role in Croatia's push for independence and governed the country during and after the Croatian War of Independence. HDZ is generally center-right, promoting Croatian nationalism, economic reform, and European integration. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, and futurist, famous for his groundbreaking work on alternating current, AC, electricity. Born in what is now Croatia, Tesla's inventions and ideas helped shape modern power systems, radio, and wireless technology. Known for his genius and eccentricity, he held hundreds of patents but died relatively poor. Plitvice Lakes. Plitvice Lakes National Park is Croatia's oldest and largest national park, famous for its stunning chain of 16 terraced lakes connected by waterfalls. Located in a lush, forested area, the park features clear turquoise waters, diverse wildlife, and wooden walkways for visitors. It was established in 1949 and became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. Luka Modrić. Luka Modrić is a Croatian professional footballer, widely regarded as one of the best midfielders of his generation. He plays for Real Madrid and the Croatian national team, famously leading Croatia to the 2018 FIFA World Cup final. Modrić won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, breaking the decade-long Messi-Ronaldo dominance. Croatian Radio Television. Croatian Radio Television is Croatia's national public broadcasting company. Founded in 1926 as a radio service and later expanding to television, HRT provides news, entertainment, educational programs, and cultural content in Croatian. It operates multiple TV channels, radio stations, and online services, serving as a key media institution in Croatia. Ivana Brlić-Mazuranić. Ivana Brlić-Mazuranić was a celebrated Croatian writer, often called the Croatian Anderson or Mother of Croatian Fairy Tales. She is best known for her collections of children's stories inspired by Slavic mythology and folklore, like Croatian Tales of Long Ago. Her works combine fantasy, moral lessons, and rich cultural heritage, making her a key figure in Croatian literature. Veli Jože. Veli Jože is a famous literary character from Croatian writer Vladimir Nazor. The story, published in 1908, is set in Istria and follows a kind-hearted giant named Jože who is exploited by others but longs for freedom and dignity. The tale is often interpreted as an allegory about oppression and national identity. The Duchy of Croatia. The Duchy of Croatia was an early medieval Croatian state that existed roughly from the 7th century until 925. It began as a Slavic principality and gradually strengthened under rulers like Duke Tripimir I and Duke Branimir, gaining recognition from the papacy. The duchy consolidated power along the Adriatic coast and inland regions. The White Croats. The White Croats were an early Slavic group mentioned in medieval sources, especially in the 10th century Byzantine work, De Administrando Imperio. They are believed to have lived north of the Carpathian Mountains, before some migrated south to the Balkans. According to tradition, these migrating groups became the ancestors of the Croats who founded the early Croatian state. Juraj Dalmatinac. Juraj Dalmatinac, also known as Giorgio da Sebenico, was a prominent Dalmatian sculptor and architect of the late Gothic and early Renaissance period. He is best known for designing and building the Cathedral of St. James in Šibenik, one of Croatia's most important cultural monuments. His work combined Gothic structure with Renaissance artistic elements, making it unique in Europe. Dundo Marože. Dundo Marože is a famous Croatian Renaissance comedy written by Marin Držić around 1551. The play follows the wealthy old merchant Marože, who travels from Dubrovnik to Rome to confront his son over reckless spending. It's known for its sharp humor, lively dialogue, and social satire. Reliquiae Reliquiarum. Reliquiae Reliquiarum is a Latin phrase meaning the remains of the remains. In Croatian history, it referred to the drastically reduced territory of the Kingdom of Croatia after major Ottoman conquests in the 16th century. As more lands were lost, Croatia was described as only the last surviving fragments of its former medieval kingdom. The Goldsmith's Treasure. The Goldsmith's Treasure is a historical novel by Croatian writer August Šenoa, published in 1871. Set in 16th century Zagreb, the story blends romance, political intrigue, and conflict between noble families. It follows the love story of Dora, a goldsmith's daughter, and the nobleman Pavao, set against real historical tensions. 100 Years Croatian-Ottoman War. The 100 Years Croatian-Ottoman War refers to the long period of warfare between the Kingdom of Croatia and the Ottoman Empire, roughly from the 1490s to the 1590s. It included constant raids, sieges, and major battles such as the Battle of Krbava Field and the Siege of Sigetvar. Large parts of Croatian territory were conquered, leading to depopulation and the creation of the military frontier as a defensive zone. Ruđer Bošković. Ruđer Bošković was a Croatian-born scientist, mathematician, physicist, astronomer, and philosopher of the 18th century. He is best known for his work on atomic theory, proposing that matter is made of point-like particles interacting through forces, a precursor to modern physics. Bošković also contributed to astronomy, geometry, and engineering, and served as a diplomat and Jesuit scholar across Europe. Franjo Tuđman. Franjo Tuđman was a Croatian historian, politician, and the first president of independent Croatia. He led the country during the Croatian War of Independence, guiding its transition from a Yugoslav republic to a sovereign state. Tuđman founded the Croatian Democratic Union and promoted Croatian nationalism, economic reform, and state building. He remains a highly influential and controversial figure in modern Croatian history. The independent state of Croatia. The independent state of Croatia was a puppet state of Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy during World War II, existing from 1941 to 1945. It was led by the Ustasha movement under Ante Pavelić and is infamous for its brutal policies, including the persecution and mass murder of Serbs, Jews, Roma, and political opponents. The NDH encompassed most of modern-day Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Red Lake Legend. The Red Lake legend is a Croatian folk story associated with the Red Lake in Dalmatia, one of the deepest sinkhole lakes in Europe. According to legend, the lake was formed when a wealthy landowner, or tyrant, drowned after committing a crime or wrongdoing, and the waters turned red with his blood. The tale serves as a moral story about justice, punishment, and the consequences of greed or cruelty. Lundenak. Lundenak is a nickname used in Croatia, especially in Istria, to refer to Croatians who emigrated to England for work and later returned home. The term often carries a mix of admiration and teasing, reflecting the experience of people who gained wealth, skills, or cosmopolitan habits abroad. It highlights patterns of labor migration from Croatia, particularly in the 20th and 21st centuries. The checkerboard legend. The checkerboard legend is a Croatian myth explaining the origin of the red and white checkerboard pattern on the Croatian coat of arms. According to the story, a Croatian king played a chess game with a foreign ruler and won, and in celebration, he incorporated the chessboard pattern into his shield. The legend symbolizes wisdom, strategy, and national identity. Živela Hrvatska. Živela Hrvatska is a patriotic Croatian phrase meaning "Long live Croatia." It has been used historically in songs, speeches, and nationalist movements to express pride, unity, and support for the Croatian nation. The expression often appears in contexts celebrating independence, cultural identity, or resistance to foreign domination. The Walls of Stone. The Walls of Stone are a series of defensive stone walls on the Pelješac Peninsula in southern Croatia, near the town of Stone. Built in the 14th to 15th centuries by the Republic of Ragusa, Dubrovnik, they were intended to protect the valuable salt pans and the city of Dubrovnik. Stretching over 5 kilometers, they are among the longest preserved fortification systems in Europe. Croatian interlace. Croatian interlace is a traditional ornamental motif used in Croatian art, architecture, and manuscripts, especially during the early medieval period. It consists of woven, braided, or intertwined geometric patterns, often found on church stone carvings, altars, and illuminated texts. The pletter symbolized eternity, unity, and Christian faith, and became a distinctive feature of early Croatian culture. The Bloody Sabor of Krzevci. The Bloody Sabor of Krzevci occurred in 1397 and was a violent event at the Hungarian-Croatian parliament held in Krzevci. It involved a dispute between powerful noble factions, resulting in bloodshed and the deaths of several nobles. The incident reflected the intense political rivalries and instability in medieval Croatia under the Hungarian crown. Coca-Cola poisoning. In 2023, Croatian authorities investigated a series of suspected poisonings after several people reported getting sick or injuring their throats after drinking bottled beverages linked to Coca-Cola products. Health regulators temporarily ordered certain batches, including a Romerquell-flavored water and some Coca-Cola sodas, to be withdrawn while samples were tested. The Republic of Ragusa. The Republic of Ragusa was a maritime city-state centered on the city of Dubrovnik in modern-day Croatia. It was known for its wealthy merchant fleet, diplomacy, and trade across the Mediterranean, rivaling Venice in commerce. The Republic maintained independence through skilled diplomacy, paying tribute to the Ottoman Empire while fostering European alliances. Red Croatia. Red Croatia is a medieval term referring to a region along the Adriatic coast, roughly covering parts of southern Dalmatia and Herzegovina. Medieval sources, like the chronicles of the 10th to 12th centuries, distinguished it from White Croatia in the north. It was inhabited by South Slavic Croats and often mentioned in the context of early Croatian medieval principalities. Croatia Rediviva. Croatia Rediviva is a historical and patriotic concept popularized in the 17th to 18th centuries, emphasizing the idea of reviving or restoring the Croatian nation after periods of foreign domination and territorial losses. The term literally means Croatia reborn and was used in literature, political writings, and maps to inspire national identity. It often reflected hopes of regaining lands lost to the Ottoman Empire or consolidating Croatian unity within the Habsburg monarchy. Maspak. Maspak is short for Masovni Pokret, a political and cultural movement in Croatia during the late 1960s and early 1970s. It was part of the broader Croatian Spring, pushing for greater Croatian autonomy, language rights, and cultural recognition within the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. The movement included students, intellectuals, and politicians, and it was eventually suppressed by the Yugoslav authorities in 1971. Matica Hrvatska. Matica Hrvatska is one of Croatia's oldest and most important cultural institutions, founded in 1842. Its mission is to promote Croatian language, literature, and cultural identity, supporting writers, scholars, and publishers. Matica Hrvatska played a key role during the 19th century national revival and continued to influence Croatian culture through periods of political change, including under Yugoslavia. Raša. Raša is a small town in Istria, Croatia, built in the 1930s as part of an Italian fascist-era project to develop coal mining in the region. Designed as a planned mining town, it features characteristic rationalist architecture and was intended to house miners and their families. The town grew around the Raša coal mine, which operated for decades before eventually closing. Potkov Gusht. Potkov Gusht is a traditional Istrian folk dance and music expression from Croatia's Istrian peninsula. The name roughly translates to a feeling of joy, energy, or spirited pleasure, and the dance is usually performed at festivals, local gatherings, and cultural events. It's part of Istria's rich folkloric heritage, showing the region's blend of Slavic and Mediterranean influences. The Croatian Demo-Christian Party. The Croatian Demo-Christian Party is a center-right political party in Croatia founded in 2009. It promotes Christian democratic values, including family, social conservatism, and the role of religion in public life. HDS participates in elections and occasionally forms alliances with larger parties, but it remains a minor party in Croatian politics. Hum. Hum is a tiny town in Istria, Croatia, often called the smallest town in the world due to its population of around 20 to 30 people. It dates back to the medieval period and is known for its stone streets, historic walls, and traditional glagolitic inscriptions. Despite its size, Hum is a cultural landmark and a popular tourist destination, showcasing Istrian history and architecture. Liberland. Liberland is a self-proclaimed micronation founded in 2015 by Czech libertarian Vít Jedlička on a small patch of disputed land on the western bank of the Danube River between Croatia and Serbia. The territory, called Gornja Siga, is unclaimed by both countries, which Jedlička used to justify declaring an independent state. Liberland has no official recognition from any UN member and exists mostly as a symbolic project promoting libertarian ideals like minimal government and personal freedom. The Herzegovina Lobby. The Herzegovina Lobby refers to an informal network of political and community leaders from Herzegovina who influence policies in Croatia and the wider region. It became especially noticeable in Croatian politics in the 1990s and 2000s, as many Croats from Herzegovina held significant roles in government, business, and party leadership. Supporters argue it helped promote Croatian national interests and diaspora ties, while critics claim it gave disproportionate influence to a regional group. The Croatian Republic of Herzegovina. The Croatian Republic of Herzegovina was a self-proclaimed political and military entity in Bosnia and Herzegovina during the Bosnian War. It was established by Bosnian Croats seeking autonomy within Bosnia, with support from Croatia, but it was never internationally recognized. HRHB operated parallel institutions, including its own army, currency, and government, and was involved in both conflict with Bosniaks and cooperation with Croatian forces. Svice Koncha. Svice Koncha is a Croatian novel by Mato Lovrak, published in 1928. The story follows young protagonists facing challenges in rural life, highlighting themes of friendship, morality, and perseverance. Lovrak's work is known for its educational and moral lessons, written in a style accessible to children and adolescents. Željeva Air Base. Željeva Air Base is a large underground military air base located on the border of Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, near Plitvice Lakes. Built during the Cold War by Yugoslavia, it was one of the largest and most secretive air bases in Europe, designed to withstand nuclear attacks. The base featured extensive tunnels, hangars, and support facilities capable of housing dozens of aircraft. The Triune Kingdom. The Triune Kingdom was a political concept in Hungary referring to the combined lands of Hungary, Croatia, and Slavonia under a single crown. It emerged in the 16th century as a way to assert the unity of the Hungarian crown's territories, especially after Ottoman invasions fragmented the region. The term was used in legal documents, seals, and official titles to emphasize the political and administrative union of these kingdoms. Only Croatia, Movement for Croatia. Only Croatia, Movement for Croatia, is a right-wing political party in Croatia founded in 2019. It promotes Croatian nationalism, sovereignty, and traditional values, often criticizing EU influence and advocating stronger border control. The party positions itself against what it sees as threats to Croatian identity and interests. Brčko in Zagreb. Brčko in Zagreb is a neighborhood and urban area in the city of Zagreb, Croatia, not to be confused with the Brčko district in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is primarily a residential area with local shops, schools, and community facilities serving its residents. The neighborhood is connected to the rest of the city by public transport and roads, making it part of Zagreb's suburban expansion. And that was the end of the Croatia Iceberg. Thanks for watching, and bye.